We survived the heat. It ain't over with yet. Glad to have you boosters in here with us today. Glad to see y'all. Glad to have y'all with us today. We got some folks standing in Arizona doing about all they can do. We got some folks cold, some folks hot. I don't know. Can't please everybody all the time. Can't do it. Can't do it. We're just gonna have to let it run the way it is. Turn with me, if you will, this morning in your Bible, if you're not already there, to Psalms 11:4. Psalms 11:4. We're going to be talking about some stuff today that some people are going to understand exactly what I'm talking about. We'll be talking about some stuff you may not have heard of before, but that's okay too. And today you can't say that no more. Psalms 11:4. Psalms 11:4, it says this. It says, the Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord is on his heavenly throne. He observes everyone on earth. His eyes examine them. Let us pray. Father, we come to you now. Thank you for this time. I thank you for this opportunity to come together in your house. Father, I thank you for the visitors that are here today. Father, I just want to now just open up this time for you to take control of this message. You to take control of this presentation. Father, you to take control of me and use me in a way that's benefiting and fitting for what your service would have you done today. Father, I just pray that your name is brought up in here in praise this morning, that your name is brought up in worship. I pray that the heart that is in here struggling this morning, Lord, will be cared for in a way that has never been cared for before. Father, we know that there are those in here that need you. We know that there are those of us in here that have been away from you, that need to come back to you. We know that there are those of us in here today that maybe for the first time really have an opportunity to look at themselves in a way that they never have before, to acknowledge who you really are. And we ask all these things in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. There is no snooze button anywhere in the proximity of God. And that's everywhere. He is the unsleeping God. He is the all-seeing God. He is the omnipresent, the omnipotent, the omniscient God. He knows everything. There is scripture that says that to him we are all naked and exposed. But yet some of us live lives of secret. Some of us live lives of unforgiven sin. Some of us live lives that we think we actually hiding something from someone. Well, I tell you today, in this church, you are not. I tell you today, make it the first day you ever possibly acknowledge that who you really are is always known by God. He don't know you the way we know you. God don't know me the way you know me. As much as Melissa thinks she knows Buck, she don't know Buck near as much as God does. Billy Joe may think he knows Diana, but he don't really know Diana near as much as God does. We've got to understand, we've got to come to a comprehension today that we are somebody that cannot hide who we are from God. We cannot hide our emotions. We cannot hide our feelings. We cannot hide our thoughts. We cannot hide who we were. We cannot hide who we are. We cannot hide who we're going to be from God. He knows just that much about us. So let's look at some things this morning. I want to use a couple of verses this morning, and it's a funny thing about Sunday school, and for those of you who weren't there this morning, you missed the blessing. We talked about some things that was very, very interesting, but I want to charge you this morning with looking up Psalms 147:4 and Isaiah 40:26. Psalms 147:4 and Isaiah 40:26. I want you to look up these verses real quick. Get your thumb on Psalms 147:4, and then get your thumb over there on Isaiah 40:26. We talked about something this morning in Sunday school class, and what we talked about was God's creation. We talked about how the more and more the scientists learn, the more and more the scientists find out, the more and more they find that they know less than what they ever thought they did. Stephen shared with us this morning in Sunday school class that that it's even got to a point now to where the scientists in some aspects are just holding on to a lie because they know if they acknowledge and tell everybody that what they've lived and strived for all this time has in fact been proven wrong. What do they have to turn to? Nobody but God. Well, let me explain something to you. If you live your life as a lie right now, you're going to be found out. You're going to be found out. Your life is a lie. Your life as a shadow, your life as smoke and mirrors is going to be known. As a matter of fact, it already is known by God that sees you for who you really are. So here we go. Psalms 147:4 says this. It says, He determines the number of stars and calls them each by name. All right, flip over now Isaiah 40:26. Isaiah 40:26 says, Lift up your eyes and look to the heavens. Who created all this? He who brings the starry host one by one and calls forth each of them by name, because of his great power and mighty strength. Not one of them is missing. We had a question this morning about where does the infinity of the universe come from? Does God just create this one little spot that we live on and then somebody else creates the rest? No. It says right here that it says, who created all these? He who brings the starry host one by one and calls each forth of them by name. Because of his great power and mighty strength, not one of them is missing. Now, I'm not going to ask you to turn for the sake of time, but I want to get into the message. But if you want to, you can jot down the other end of this whole entire spectrum. First of all, we started with God for how big He is, and how powerful He is, and what He's created, and what He's been able to create. And everything that He's created, He knows everything in it. If you go from the verses I just give you to this verse, you'll create what's known as bookends. You'll have God and His power on one end with an expansive universe, and then here in Luke 12:7, Luke 12:7 says this, Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Indeed, the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Now, Bug Billy Dover might have a problem understanding that. But you know what? God knows a little stump that they shave off. And when I shave mine, He knows mine too. God knows everything there is to know about each and every one of us. So I want to explain some stuff to you. I want to make sure, did Stephen keep y'all's attention last Sunday? For those of you who were here, was it okay? Stephen, done pretty good? I ain't checked it on YouTube yet. Kendall was fussing because he spoke too long.
I didn't fire when you spoke for me.
I spoke for you.
I thought you had to shake it time off.
Oh, so you made it where it was short.
Look who's full here.
Do what?
Look who's full here.
All that?
See, I'm glad.
Yeah. How many times to flip?
He put it up.
God knows that He put the stars in place. He also knows that He named them each one by one. He knows that there's not one missing. He also knows every hair on every one of our heads. Every hair on every one of our heads. It also goes on to say that there's not a sparrow that falls to the ground that God does not know about. He is the God who can handle what's in between. Okay? Let me say that again. And I want to put yourself and your problems and your conditions and your shortcomings and your tribulations and your trials. Put your trial in this statement I fixed to say. God is on each end of the expanse of power. He's in the expanse of creating the universe as we know it with all stars in place. And He's also powerful enough to know every hair that's on our head. And somewhere in between there we are. And you know what? God can handle everything in between here. Mr. Bill's brother come and spoke here one time. He said something I'll never forget. He said that no matter how big your problem is, it's always beneath the feet of God. And that's very powerful. I never want you to forget that. Because God is able to do something, and we're going to get to it in just a little bit in this message that I want you to understand. I want to also go into something right here. Now, I use every once in a while some quotes out of the Bible called the Message. And all it is it just kind of takes the Bibles and it puts it in a more poetic sounding way. I don't use it as more doctrinally sound teachings or anything like that, but I like the way sometimes it uses the verses In the Bible, the message, it says this. The Psalm goes on to tell us, He is in charge, as always. His eyes taking everything in. His eyelids unblinking. And then it goes on to say this, examining Adam's unruly brood inside and out, not missing a thing. Well, guess what? We are all part of Adam's unruly brood. We might not want to think we are, but we are. We all come from it, and we've all made a mess of who we are. So we are part of Adam's unruly brood. But let me talk about something. I want to try to explain something to you today because we've got a lot going on in this world today, a lot going on in this country today. I want to touch on a few things. Let's talk about the unruly brood. First of all, everyone, regardless of race, religion, sexual orientation, nationality, financial status, everyone here, everyone, everywhere will have their day. Everybody, everywhere will have their day. All right? Now, I want you to understand something. This day is coming. For each and every one of us, our day is coming, and we cannot stop it. We can do nothing to stop it. But what I'm fixing to tell you, what I'm fixing to share with you, is not me judging, okay? It's not me judging at all. I'm not judging one's salvation. I'm not judging one's eternity. I'm not placing my judgment on who I think they are or who I think they are not. I'm simply telling you this so you will understand what I'm trying to explain to people that see things going on in this world today that sometimes we just don't think there's an answer for. And sometimes, let me tell you something, the way this world is getting, it makes you wonder if there's an answer. But I'll tell you something, it is. For the one who kills in the name of religion, they will have their day. For the one who kills in the name of colors, they will have their day. For the crooked politicians who seem to be above the law, they will have their day. For the powerful people who have pride only in themselves, they will have their day. For the one who enjoys the act of creating a child's life only to walk away from their responsibility to the new child, they will have their day. For those who choose to end a child's life, they will have their day. For the gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender who uses God's symbol of a covenant, God's symbol of a covenant with us as a symbol for their pride, they will have their day. For the one who causes the little one to stumble because they are not the same at home as they are at church, they will have their day. For the one who comes to the church clean on the outside but not willing to let God clean them from the inside, will have their day. For the one sitting in here today that will not humble yourself for the sake of your own free gift of salvation, you will have your day. Because see, no matter how much I talk about what's going on in the nation today, no matter how much I talk about the unruly government, the government that is above the people, the government that rules the people, the government that dictates to the people what the people are going to have to live with, for all the problems that we see in society, from all the racial issues and the racial tensions, and from all the issues with religion, and with all the problems that we see now on the news. Now, let me tell you something. The news is a broken record. It's the same thing happening every day. It's just at a different area. It's at a different location. But the outcome is always the same. The reason for all of it is all the same. The people you see doing what they're doing have turned their backs on God. And all they've done is turn their focus of their anger, their attention, their concern, whatever you want to call it. They've turned it away from them. The problem is they should be turning their attention and their focus and their concerns to them. That's right. Because here's what you see. You see a nation that is crumbling around us, and you're seeing a lot of people that have done things that normally they would have never done. I guarantee you there are people in here now that have had thoughts in the last month about people of other races, of other religions, of other doctrines that we probably never had before. Some of you are being introduced into a first time living and seeing almost what you would consider a civil war in the United States. It's just quiet right now. But we see the edges of it. And you know what it shows? It shows we're nowhere near God right now as a nation that we were back in the years of actual slavery. This nation's not turning to God. God's not going to bless this nation for what this nation is right now. We need to quit asking God to bless this nation and ask God to help us as an individual. We got to start at home. We got to start in here. We got to acknowledge Him for who He is and us for who we are. And until you can do that, you can watch the news till hell freezes over. It's not going to change what's going on inside your heart. And the only way you'll ever have an ability to cope with what you see happening in the world right now is to understand that God put this world in place. We made a mess of it. He said it's going to fall away from Him, and it's doing it. But what's the name of today's message? It's a God who can handle. No matter how big you see these problems, no matter how potentially damaging to what society is to you, God can handle. No matter how far or how deep the rules of having to live a way we don't want to live is pushed toward us, God can handle. Only if we'll let Him. Only if we'll let Him. God's grace can and will overpower your sin if you will let it. But you have to allow it to happen. I want to change some things. I'm going to talk about some things right now that's a little more personal. God can handle who you are. God can handle who you are. And that's me included, okay? I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm talking to everybody, me included. God can handle who you are. Well, you say, well, what does He need to handle? God can handle who you are now. He can handle who you were. He can handle the things that you hide. He can handle your secrets. He can handle your drunkenness. He can handle the pills. He can handle the drugs. He can handle the adultery. He can handle the abortions. He can handle all of it. He can handle the homosexuality. He can handle all of it. God can handle all of this if you will let Him. But there's one thing that God cannot handle. And He cannot handle self-justification. He cannot do it. He cannot handle self-justification. Go back and listen to some of the people I talked about a while ago. When I talked about the people that kill for the sake of religion. People are killing one another right now in this world. And in their mind, they're justified in what they're doing because they're doing it because of their religion. And guess what? They don't care who they kill. People are killing because of race. They're killing because of race. They're killing because of skin color. And it's happening, and it's happening more. But you know what? They also are killing with self-justification. In their minds, they're justifying what they're doing. Now, we know they're not, but we also know that they think they are. Look at your politicians that do what they do. Look at Congress. Look at the Senate. Look at the judges that everybody's fussing about right now. Look at what they do. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all can sit here and y'all can pay some attention if you want to. But for those of you that are older, that know what this nation used to be, and see what this nation is now, but you young ones, you better take heed to what I'm trying to say. Because this ain't the same world it used to be. Even in my time, in my short 43 years, I can get a look at my wife. I think she must be really taking this in. 49 years. In my time, I've seen things change. Okay? In my time, I've seen change things. I know Mr. Bill, and I know that Granny, and I know that Mr. Roman. I know you that are older have seen significant changes. Do you honestly think it's going to get any better? Do you honestly think that? Are you so naive and so gullible to live with a lie of denial? Are you so gullible that you think we can have somebody in the White House that's going to change what's happening in this nation today? No. You know why? Because God's Word says we'll turn from it. And that's exactly what is happening, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So here we are. Let's go back to self. Let's go back to what we actually need to say. Let's go back to where it needs to be all put together. God can handle all the bad, all the hidden, all the secrets, all the lies, all the hurt inflicted on others, all the broken laws, all the twisted and sickening sexual acts, all the immaturity, all the drunkenness, all the doping pills. But there's one thing He cannot handle, and that's this. If you come to God and you say, God, I'm confused. I know what the preacher's saying, and I know I see all of it happening, but I really don't know what's going on in my life. But I am acknowledging right now that I've done some bad things in my life. God can handle that. Okay? If you come to Him right now and you say, Lord, I've had thoughts about somebody else in my life instead of who I'm with, He can handle that. If you come to Him and say, Lord, I got a problem every once in a while, I say things I ain't supposed to say. I use profanity sometimes. He can handle that. If you come to Him and you say, Lord, I tell you what, I really don't care nothing about being here today. I'm just here because somebody else asked me to come. I'm really just ready to leave, man, go get something to eat. He can handle that too. I got folks look at each other. I know there's some people ready to go get something. I've seen it. I've seen it. If you say, Lord, right now I know that I'm not who you need me to be. And I know that I'm not serving you the way I should because of what you've done for me. He can handle that. But if your prayer sounds like this, God, I'm good. I'm okay. You've just made an idiot out of yourself in front of an almighty, all-holy God. You know why? Because you're the one that needs the most help. Yes. And let me explain something to you. If you think right now, for one minute split of a second, that you're good, you are not. You are so far from it, it ain't even funny. You know why? Because you have something that God cannot handle. You have self-justification. You have justified in your own way that you're okay and life is good. I got a good home, I got a good wife, I got a good job, I got a good mom and dad, I got good things to play with, I go to school, I make good grades. Everything in life is okay, God. Everything's rolling on all right. Well, let me ask you this. If everything is so good in your life right now, how are you showing your appreciation to God in it? Where is the results that we would see in church of what God has given you, this so-called good life you have? Where is the attentiveness to God's need for your service? Where is the attentiveness to you being in church? Where is the attitude of, you know what, my life is good. God has really blessed me, so I'm going to come and I'm going to serve Him. Where is that? You see, I'm not seeing either one. And a preacher told me one time, he said, the best church in the world is a church that you go into and half the congregation is like this with the Lord and half the congregation is like this with the Lord. Or vice versa. You can have half the congregation like this with the Lord and half the congregation like this. You got them that's on fire, you got them that's in the gutter. You got struggling alcoholics in church, claiming to be Christians, you got people that's on fire. You got struggling alcoholics in church that's asking God to help them every breath because they know that life is a mess. And you got people that are on fire that are trying to help them and working for them and praying for them and being there for them and providing for them and taking care of their families while they're out on their business and and doing all this stuff. You got this going on in the church, you got something good. But what you don't want in the church is this. When everybody's in the middle. I'm not seeing the results of God in this church. If we've got so many people that have such a good life, where's the results? And if your life is not good, then where is the fullness of the altar every Sunday morning? I'll tell you what's going on. You're good. You're good. Don't leave it. I'll show up when I feel like it. I'll show up if there's an event. Oh, they have the food. I'll crack, I'm going to be there. I don't see the results of God working in your life. If things are bad, God needs to know about it. If things are good, you know what? God needs to know about it. So where are the results? We are sitting in a county that has not yet been affected wholeheartedly by what's going on in this nation. And we are allowing ourselves to maintain this convenient style of living that we have, this contentment of church, this contentment of God, this contentment of dealing with the issues of watching what's on the news. You know why we can watch it? You know how we can live with it? Because it's on the news. I don't know what the smallest town has been that something terrible is taking place in, but you know what? Lincoln is not too small for something to happen in. It's not. Are you prepared spiritually for what Satan has to deal to you the next time? Are you prepared spiritually to battle with him by battling with yourself first? Are you prepared to do that? Or are you just come to church because you want to every once in a while and showing up and church and you're punching the church Sunday time clock? Are you doing that? You got a lot of folks here today, got a lot of business. I'm sorry you got to hear this way you do, but you know what it is. I mean, look at the world around you. Look what Satan's doing. And you know what's happening? We're allowing him to do it. And one of the main reasons is, first of all, we don't even know how to be who we are, or how we claim to be, or who we claim to be. We know so little about our own faith that we can't even talk to someone else about it. I love Wednesday nights, and we've learned a lot on Wednesday nights. I really do. We have a good time on Wednesday nights. But one of the main things I've always tried to do on Wednesday nights is for us to go back to scriptures that will help us be able to talk to somebody else about the Lord. Growth. But you know what? There's just a handful that comes on Wednesday nights. If everybody come on Sunday morning would come on Wednesday nights, there'd be a lot more people growing. If everybody come on Sunday morning would come on Sunday nights, there'd be a lot more people growing. But you know what I see? I see people content to come when they think it's necessary, when they need something. Or I see people that are so content in their spiritual walk that they think they can get enough God out of all week long that they can get him in 1 hour of the combination of prayer requests, music, me speaking for however long I do, and then an invitation, and then that's it. Because I guarantee you this, I guarantee you, I'm not a bad man I used to be, and I miss it sometimes. But that's just who I am. But I guarantee you that those of you that are not committed to God's house during the week is only getting, at the best, that 1 hour. Because if you're no more dedicated to show up for 1 time a week, you're also not dedicated to go to him when you're not here. And I'm sorry, but if the shoe fits, you got to wear it. You know why? Because God knows it. It's not me. Don't get mad at me. Why would you get mad at me? I'm not the one doing it. You are. Why would you be offended by what I'm giving you? If you can argue with me about it, that's fine. If you can say I'm too busy, well, get something else to do. If you can say, well, I'm not interested in you talking over my head, I can use smaller words. If they get much smaller, they'll only have one syllable. There'll be a lot of them. 3 letters and 2-letter words. But I'm more than happy to do it. But you know what? You don't have an excuse. You don't have an excuse. Nobody in here, I don't care who you are, how old you are, you do not have an excuse. God has given you the life you have right now. And for some of us in here, we have a lot longer life than somebody else. But God has given it to you. I'm telling you now, if you'll look around at what's happening around you, you'll see that one of these days, God's word says that Jesus is coming back. We already know, we can see the writing on the wall. If you can't see that Jesus is coming back one day, you're just being ignorant to the life around you. You're not seeing reality. You're not looking at the writing on the wall. You're not seeing what is truly taking place in this world today. We got people in the United States killing each other. And it ain't just gang related. It's getting bigger than that. It's bigger. Race wars, huge. Religious wars is huge. False doctrine is huge. God says in the last days there'll be false doctrines. If you can't see it, what are you looking at? You know I don't care nothing about having these kind of messages. You know I don't care nothing about saying what I've got to say up here. You know that I struggle with having to present something like this. But dadgummit, if you can't see what's going on around, and you're not willing to bend a little bit to allow God to use you, or at least grow in Him in the middle of all this, how are you planning on protecting yourself spiritually when Satan does walk up to the door and knock on it? How are you planning on doing that? You can sing beautiful songs all day long, and you can give the most wonderful messages all day long, but in the end, my Savior's coming back. And when He comes back, you better know who you are in Him. You know why? There's going to be a separation taking place. He's going to separate us. Do you realize? You may not know enough of God's Word to know, but He uses terms in His Bible and says that He's going to separate. If I were to say, you're a goat, where are you going? Well, if you knew anything about the Bible, you say, I'm going to hell. If I were to say you're a sheep, you know anything about the Bible, you'd say, well, I'm going to heaven. Well, what about the wheat and the chaff? If you know anything about them, you know which one He's going to separate. Christ is coming back not to give you another chance. He's coming back to separate. And the times are showing. I'm telling you, am I telling you He's coming back next week? Absolutely. No, I ain't got a clue when He's coming back. But we're a lot closer to it now than we've ever been. All I'm saying is this. Dadgummit, if you're ever going to be serious about who you are in the Lord, now is the time to start. You need to quit playing church. You need to quit playing with God's grace. You need to quit trying to hide your sin. You need to quit trying to take stuff and put it in a closet and make it where somebody can't see it, because God has already seen it. But the point of the matter is, for who you are in Him right now, He can handle it. If you will allow Him to. If you will allow Him to. I guarantee you, every one of us in here, me included, have got something we need to talk to the Lord about. We've got something wrong in our lives. Each and every one of us do. Today may be the day that you need to talk to Him about. I ain't begging you to come to the altar. Don't you dare think I'm ever going to beg somebody to come to the altar. I'm not trying to talk somebody into anything. You know why? If anybody ever comes to the altar because a preacher let them down there, they're coming for the wrong reason. Right. I've had people tell me, Marty, I was sitting in the pew, and the next thing I knew, I done stood up, and the next thing I knew, I was walking down the aisle, and the next thing I knew, I was on my knees. You know what? That person ain't heard that preacher said. He ain't heard that preacher. He listened to the Holy Spirit of God direct him in his path. As we get ready to close, we're fixing to have communion. And I know a lot of times I talk about communion in a lot of ways, but today I'm talking about the seriousness of it and the significance of it. In this way. You can play church all you want to. God sees it. You can play a hypocritical life if you want to. You can be somebody at church and be somebody different. God sees it. God can handle it. But, if you do not know Christ Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and you do not know right now that if you die, you're going to heaven when you pass away, don't play with this. This is nothing for you to play with. It's nothing for a child to touch and play with if they don't know Jesus. It's nothing for a grown-up to touch and play with if they don't know Jesus. What we're doing is serious. So you can come to church and you can have a half attitude about church if you want to. But trust me when I say this. Don't play with God this morning, church. Take what we're fixing to do very serious. If you choose not to partake in this, it might be one of the best choices you ever did. You know why? Because it may mean that you're choosing to actually start acknowledging how serious God either is in your life or is not in your life. There's nothing wrong with sitting back and saying, you know what? I don't think I'm quite ready this morning to take this representation of His blood and this representation of His body today. I don't think I'm there this morning. I don't need to be. I need time. Well, I'm going to give you some time. As a matter of fact, we're going to have an invitation. We're going to have a hymn. Diane, you and your mom, come on up. And after we get through having it, we're going to have some verses. Then after we have these verses, it's going to be all quiet in God's house a little bit. We're just going to be quiet. And it's going to be a time to reflect, okay? It's going to be a time to reflect on some things. And these things we're going to be reflecting on is, who have we been lately? What have we said lately? How have we acted towards someone else lately? We're going to reflect on what are the things that we're hiding from society. We're going to reflect on what thoughts we've been having towards somebody else, be it good or bad. We're going to reflect on some things. And we're going to come to terms, we're going to come to the understanding that right now in this very church, God knows more about you than you've ever known about yourself, okay? So quit trying to hide. Quit trying to hide what God already knows about you. And I'm not asking you again to come up and just spill guts all over the altar. That's not what I'm asking for. This altar has never saved anybody, okay? But this has. And if you will allow Him in here this morning, you will be experienced with something. You will be somewhere in your life you've never been before, nor will you ever be again. And that's one with Christ, one with the Holy Father, one with Jesus.